I'm Josh Wilson-Esbrand. This is the Locker Room Podcast, episode 4. Let's go.
Hi guys, welcome to our 4th episode on our new channel, The Locker Room. We are joined by another special guest, Josh Wilson-Esbrand. Happy to have you here, bro.
Happy to be here.
Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to start off right at the beginning of your footballing memories. What is your first memory of football? What got you interested in it? And obviously led to you having a career yourself.
When I was about... I played loads of sports growing up, but when I was about 8, I went to like a holiday club thing. So when there was in summer when there's like a 6-week break,
yeah.
school's finished. But my dad was still working, so obviously I couldn't stay at home because I'm too young. So we'd go to like a holiday club thing. So I went there, and they were doing all type of sports, and we just started playing football. And then one of the people there, that was one of the kids there that was also there. When the parents came one time at the end of the day, like the parents came and watched, and they were like, "Nah, he's good." And then he played for a Sunday league, and then they were like, "Just come to our Sunday league and just come and try out." And then went to their Sunday league. That was halfway through the season, and then I just started playing football from there.
So yeah, you mentioned you played other sports. What other sports were involved in your life growing up?
Loads. Cricket, badminton, everything.
Cricket,
everything that you could think of was probably a sport that I've done. Just because I was active, and my dad wanted me to experience a lot of sports. That way, if I wanted to choose one, I can choose one. But, different aspects of different sports.
Were there any others you were particularly talented at? Or was football just a standout?
I think I could have been...
Anything. Yeah, just naturally gifted. Right.
And on football, you are left back. Yeah. At that time, did you have any idol? When you start playing football, were you left back on that time?
No, I mean, I think as a common thing, when everyone starts playing football, you're very rarely a defender. Everyone's always a striker, winger.
And then how, your love for that position, you love to playing as a left back. Did you have anyone as an idol playing on that position, or which just was natural? And then
I think moving over into left back, I think just the people that catch your eye anyway, just like Marcelo and growing up, but I had Chelsea fans, so I had Ashley Cole, I had all good left backs anyways to look at and enjoy the game. But yeah, I think Marcelo changed the role kind of, because he wasn't really known for his defensive side in the game. Ashley Cole was known for defend first, no one's getting past him. Not to take away what he can do in the ball as well, because I don't think people really, really remember that side. But Marcelo was one that, when you think of Marcelo, he was the one that flary on the ball, a defender that can dribble, that can do skills. It kind of changed the role for what left backs or what defenders are in general.
How old are you?
I'm 20 now.
Have you watched
Still
Roberto?
weird for me to say that because I just turned 20, but yeah. I'm 20.
Have you watched Roberto Carlos playing?
Yeah.
Who, in your opinion, who is best, him or Marcelo?
He was before my time, so obviously I can still say it was Roberto Carlos, but in my time that I've only watched Marcelo. I'm sure if I watched Roberto Carlos in his time, from what I've seen, he was top, but I can only really say from what I've watched.
Jamie Carragher said nobody wants to be Gary Neville growing up. Do you think the new wave of fullbacks, your Trents, Reece James, Kyle Walkers, whatever, do you think they're inspiring a generation to actually want to be a fullback growing up rather than sort of slotting into a fullback as a failed centre half, as Carragher said?
I think they definitely give kids more of a they don't shun up on the position as much.
Yeah.
So as a kid, maybe you say in your PE, you need a defender to play defender. No one's like, I don't want to do it. So I think now they've just revitalized the role where if someone says go and play there, they're like, okay, I want to go be like Trent now. I want to go be like Reece James. I want to go do these things that I see these professional players doing, instead of just thinking, boring position. I just have to sit here, defend, and not do anything on the ball. So I think, in that sense, they've definitely redone how the position is seen.
Nowadays, in the present, is any left back a player on your position that you look up to?
For me, obviously being around and in the City team, obviously I had Joao.
João Cancelo.
Yeah, Joao Cancelo. I had Kyle Walker, two of the top fullbacks in the Premier League. So I had them already. And then I have other people like Alphonso Davies, who when I was growing up was also young and coming in, still a top fullback. I really like Hakimi, the way he plays.
It's good.
If you could take one quality from all of those players, which player's quality would you take? So if you could take like Fonzie's pace, what would it be?
Yeah, that's difficult because I think Hakimi's quicker than...
You reckon? Quicker than Fonzie?
I think so.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Because I think he's even clocked a faster time in Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So I'd take Joao's dribbling. I would take Kyle's strength, Hakimi's speed, and then Alphonso Davies. I don't know where to put him now. I'll probably say he's defending then.
Yeah.
Because his pace allows him to defend quite well, so I'll take his defending.
So, you obviously got into the West Ham youth setup. Tell about how that came about. You said you got into Sunday League. How did you transition from that into an elite environment? Yeah,
that was all quite quick. So when I had gone into that Sunday League setup, it was around, like I said, like mid-season. So then we had played the second half of that season, and I was scoring goals. I was just having fun. And then I remember we had a award ceremony, and I won Best Player of the season. And then after that, we had a showcase game against West Ham, but we were playing the under nines, I think.
How old were you at that time?
I was still 8.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So this was all within 6 months. Yeah. We were playing the under nines, and then I think I scored 4 goals.
4.
Yeah, and I was just having fun. Yeah, and then after that, his name is Dave Hunt. He was head of recruitment in the academy ages, and he oversaw a lot that age group, under 8s, under 9s. Came to my dad, and then him and a person called Dale Robinson, I think, off the top of my head, if I remember his name correctly, Dale, came and just talked to my dad, got details, told him like bring him to training, so and so next week, tomorrow, etc. And then from there is when it kicked off, to be honest.
Okay, you have origins from Jamaica, right?
Guyana.
Okay, Guyana.
Yeah.
Okay, when you were at West Ham, the English national team gave you a call up for the national team. Did you ever thought about playing for Guyana, or you just thought, it's England?
Because Guyana is actually quite a small country, I never knew until I was actually older that they actually had a team. So me being 15, 16, 17, 18, going to England, I never knew like Guyana would have that type of setup. But as I got older now, I know that obviously they have their first team, but it's not a big thing. So like when you see other footballers where they're debating whether to play for their, let's say, origin country or their country which they've obviously been brought up, etc., it's more of a thing where do they want to take that route of my origin, or do they want to compete at the highest level? Because some of those teams don't get to that level. So me personally, as proud as I am to say, I have Guyanese heritage, I'm going to play for England because they're going to be on the biggest stage against these players, etc.
So when you were at West Ham, was there like a area of your skill set that was lacking that you think you really developed there? Something maybe the coaches identified and you worked on it a lot and, it became a strong part of your game? Yeah,
I think we just worked on decision making. We just worked on end product, because as a fullback, that's important. Yeah. So those 2 things really was and defending, of course. Just all those 3 things, whether they were weaknesses or whether they were
just key components.
Whether they were key components to becoming a top fullback. Those are just things that we worked on. So decision making, need to make the right decisions when final product, finding your striker, finding your winger, etc. And then 1v1 defending, obviously, because you're a defender first.
Yeah.
I'll leave the next one for you.
Okay. So we obviously mentioned you got put into the England under 16 side. I think making your debut when you were 14. Did that experience open your eyes to the caliber of quality in England? Obviously, there was a lot of quality at West Ham, but when you were exposed to those types of players in the England setup, were you a bit like, well, okay, this is the level I need to be at?
It was nice because it gives you that because obviously growing up in academy, you only know the people around you, like your friends.
Were there any players from West Ham that were in the England side then?
Maybe one, I think, maybe one or two.
Okay.
But that was more in the early setup.
Yeah.
So that was when there was loads of people, and then obviously you get funneled out as you go up. But yeah, as you grow up in the academy, you have all your friends. So that when you go out, it's kind of a new. Like, I remember when I got the email, the first email, it's like I didn't know this was a thing. At this age, like this young, I didn't know like England or the international setup was a thing this young. So when I got the email, I was like, whoa.
I thought it was a scam or something.
I thought it was a scam. I was like, I'm looking at this thing, it says England 50 under men, and then it says my name and says everything. Like, I'm thinking, hold on, he's got my information from where? He's got my email just from where? Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, when I went, it's just like the caliber of players that you see. Like, I remember at my camp we had Jude, we had Jamal Musiala,
Jude Bellingham,
Jamal Musiala. We had all these players in our...
Come to Liverpool, Jude. What do you do? City don't need you, bro. It won't be fair, Haaland, De Bruyne and Jude.
He's a big Liverpool fan.
Yeah, so I remember like we had all these players. So like, it's nice also to be been playing against them anyways from club level, and then you see all these players come into the same room, if you like, and everyone's just the levels at a certain level because they're handpicking the best players from each position out of the country. So it was a thing where you can only learn, you can only develop yourself, and just you have to enjoy the experience anyways.
Yeah. You have mentioned your dad. He was very important on your journey. He used to take you for the games, late or early, cold or not. He was there.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a good shout out. Is anyone that you would like to mention apart from your dad?
I mean, there's loads, I think.
Your barber.
I mean, my barber, he does an alright job sometimes, but I have to make sure he's on it. Nah, like you said, my dad's been obviously a vocal point of my football career. Like you said, parents, whether it's cold, whether it's shining, whether it's raining, they're always going to be there to take you to, these are the sacrifices that they make, whether they need to leave work early, do these things. But no, I had a few inspirational coaches, if you like, growing up. I had under 12s, Dave Worthington, because I was under 12s. I was growing quite a lot, so I was finding my body, if you like. So my coordination wasn't good, like my confidence was low. I was small with like size 9 feet because I'm the same size now, so size 8/9 feet. Under 12s.
Harry's still wearing kids' shoes, isn't he?
So I was doing all these things. I was growing, losing coordination, and then I remember at the halfway of the season we have these reviews, and then going into mid-season I was already like skeptical of what they were gonna say, but they said like, listen, like if you don't hit this number, because they did it from 1 to 10. I think I got a 4, I think. And they were like, if you don't get at least a 6 at the end of the season, like we're gonna have to let you go, etc.
Yeah.
And then this was a time where the coaches weren't helping. Like they were not helping my confidence. They were doing whatever they were doing. And then I remember halfway through the season, Dave Worthington came in as our coach, and then he just gave me bags of confidence. And then obviously by the end of the season, luckily, hit that 6 that they wanted me to hit, and then here I am. But yeah, that was in the under-12 season. Yeah, but I've had a lot of coaches through the time that have different dynamics, helped me in different ways. Just different styles of coaching and player management as well, because that's a big thing. But yeah, I can name a few, like Loris Kogan. He was a great coach. A coach called Gerard Pendeville. I think he's still at West Ham.
Okay.
I had Harry Watlin. I think he just left. He's at Rangers now. I think he's at Rangers now, part of the first team setup. And then obviously come to City. I have my first coach was Gareth Taylor, and then now I had Pep. So yeah, it's not bad.
So okay, our next section is called This or That.
Before we go to the next section, it's very important. How do you feel? Well, I told you before, Rory is a Liverpool fan. Before that, I need to ask you something. I need you to have a guess. What name is on the back of this shirt he's wearing?
Haaland.
Can you show on the cameras and Josh, please?
Much better player than Haaland.
It's saying Wilson-Esbrand.
Yes, sir.
He's my favorite player.
In a different league to Erling
And
Haaland.
wait, he's a Liverpool fan. How do you feel? Well, I am Manchester City fan since I was born. Some people, some people will say that I'm not, but I am. I love Manchester City. That's right.
I don't think Man City were founded when you were born.
Bro, I feel proud wearing this. How do you feel like a Liverpool fan is wearing a Manchester City T-shirt?
Okay, be careful or I'll put this one on instead.
Now let's go for the next one.
So yeah, we're going to play a game called This or That. We're going to give you two options. You just got to choose one or the other. So we're going to start off nice and easy. Pool or beach?
Beach.
Beach, okay.
Music or movies?
Movies. Get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ah,
I love it. Thank
Who?
God he said
I
that.
have to think about that one.
Messi.
Messi, yeah.
My guy.
Goal or assist?
Goal. Only
Height-
because
sorry, go on.
only because assists are more normal for a fullback, so you don't get the odd goal. So when you
Yeah,
when you
true.
do get the goals,
Yeah,
like,
makes sense. Yeah.
High tops or low tops?
shoes,
Yeah,
low tops.
low tops. Right?
London or Manchester? That's good.
I like them both, to be fair.
Good answer.
London's
We'll
my
leave it there. We'll
hometown,
leave that. Good
so-
answer. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Bob Marley or Usain Bolt?
That I'll step in. That was because on the internet it said you had Jamaican roots, so that's why I put it in there.
I've seen that
Yeah.
somewhere. You know, it's not true. I don't know why they think that.
Yeah,
You at home, don't trust on internet.
Yeah,
don't.
it's not correct because I don't have Jamaican.
I mean, you can still choose between Bob Marley and
Yeah.
Usain Bolt.
Usain
but
Bolt.
Alright.
I mean, I don't know why they put that. I have a lot of Jamaican friends. I can understand and speak the language, but I'm not Jamaican.
Have the pace of Kyle Walker or like the step overs feet of Riyad Mahrez?
Riyadh.
Yeah.
Apple Music or Spotify?
Spotify.
Win the World Cup with England or Guyana, or win the Champions League.
World Cup.
That's good. I like the next one. New shoes or new fresh haircut?
Fresh haircut.
Before the
had
next
to say
one.
that.
Before the next one.
Nah,
I have a
You're gonna
question.
mess up your hairline next time.
No, seriously,
You
because
pushed it way back.
as much you can, it's hard because a fresh haircut you feel fresh.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Before the next one, it's very important for me. Talking about the haircut, I would like to ask you to name a good barber in Manchester.
I don't know. I go back to London to get married.
Thank God you said that.
No, obviously, if you don't know, this is my barber sitting here. Gives the best haircuts in Manchester, so I'm sure his details will be in the description below. So,
What's
you wanna hit him
the brand name?
well, he calls himself the Magic Hands, but you know, you can determine whether his hands are magic or not when you go to get your haircut by him.
Okay, Gerrard or Lampard?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Oh, so Gerrard, yeah, still.
No. Sorry, bro. I know you're a Liverpool fan.
Half of your weight or double of your your height or double of your weight.
Would you half your height or double your weight?
Yeah.
If you have to choose one.
I'm not that tall, you know.
Double your height.
I think. Wait, so I have to double my weight,
Half your height.
half my height,
Or double your
my
weight.
weight.
Yeah.
I think I double my weight, you know.
Really? Or become a heavyweight boxer or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going back to the questions now. In July 2019, you moved to the City under 18 squad. From like an outsider's perspective, playing at West Ham, were you like particularly impressed with what they were doing on the pitch against you? Were you like inspired to go and join them from what you'd seen from a opposite team?
Yeah, I mean, every time we'd go to tournaments, Premier League tournaments, national tournaments, and we look at the finalists, whether it be like international, whether other teams have come across as well, you're always seeing City or Chelsea in the final, like, and then you watch them play, and they're just turning over teams as if they're not there, and we're just like, you know, because we always used to think in our age, especially, like we had a good age, but our age was we never played together because either someone was injured, someone was playing up.
Yeah.
So when we went to these tournaments, we never had our full team, but where we thought if we had our full team, we can go and, you know, we can go and compete. Whereas I think with City and Chelsea, they don't need their full team to go and make it to the semi-finals or the finals. But just watching them, like how they did things or how they walked across, I think those type of teams when you're younger just have a certain stature. You just look at them differently. Liverpool included, like just the big teams in general, like they carry a type of weight that when you're young, you're just like, oh, like, I want to play for them one day.
Yeah. You played both sides, under 18 and under 23s. What's your best memory at Manchester City on the academy level?
I think that first season in under 18s was, I think, just the whole season in general, because we had a great team. We won every single trophy that we competed in, including Youth Cup, which was a big thing because at West Ham, I don't think we got out of the group stages for 13 years, I think they said, or something. So when I came to City and now I'm playing in the Youth Cup a year up, so I was like one of the only first year 18s, because under 18s you have under 17s and under 18s. So the Youth Cup group was mainly under 18s, but there was a couple from the under 17 age that played in the under 18s team. So I think just playing in that, being around the older boys, being around the team that we had a great camaraderie, the team. It was just, that season was really good, especially it being my transition season into City as well, my first season. So that whole season is a good memory in my
So moving through into your time with like the first team, what were your first impressions of being around the players, and what were your feelings obviously getting integrated into that?
Honestly, I was just like, rah, these men are cold.
Yeah.
Like, you think that playing with, you go to England, you see these, like, but third team is not even a different level of ability. What I always tell people is that you rarely ever see a first team player have a bad touch or make a bad pass. That's what makes them first team or like high professionals, because they just do the simple things and the difficult things at a ridiculous level and extremely consistently. That's what was mad to me. Like, you'd go to train and then the pace at which they're doing it, but then obviously like the technique and the attention to detail that they're doing it with. It's just, the consistency is crazy.
Last year, one summer, on the preseason, you went to America with the first team for the preseason. How was the experience?
Mad. Crazy. Because I remember, so when did we go? We went July, I think July.
July, yeah.
I got told a couple months before, or however many months before, Danny, who's the first team coordinator, is like, Josh, go get your COVID vaccine because it needs to be done so that you can get into America. So I was like, all right, cool. When I got that text, I was like, all right, cool, going pre-season, etc., etc. And then going on to the tour, it was like, first of all, it was beautiful. The hotel that we stayed in was crazy. It was in Houston. And then just being around the team even more, because I already had a year with the team anyways, like training with them. So I felt comfortable, but now like it's different. You're going away with them, etc. Like everyone's in the same. So you start to build even more bonds. Like you start to build actual friendships with people. And yeah, it was crazy, especially playing in the stadiums that we played in. Like when we played Bayern, the stadium I think was 90,000 people in there. The atmosphere was crazy.
You played Barcelona as well, no?
Yeah, we played Barcelona. That was a friendly game after the season had started, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I think the season had started. Maybe 2-3 games in.
Yeah.
And then we played Barcelona. That again was crazy because everyone watches the football at the Camp Nou when you're growing up, and then for me to walk out and then play at the Camp Nou against players that are some of the best players in the world, like, was crazy.
So you came up against a certain Serge Gnabry in the preseason. What was it like coming up against him? You know, somebody right at the top of their game. Is it something you had really dealt with before, somebody on that level, or was it, you know, another step up?
Nah, this was the first time I think I played at a team at that caliber, because I made my debut when we played Wickham in the Carabao Cup. That was great, of course, but then obviously playing Bayern, where you look at the team sheet and you see Gnabry at 10 and then Coman on your side.
Yeah, a bit of a long day, innit?
growing up, like I said, I like YouTube, so when I grow up, I used to like just type in like top 10 fastest players in football, and I just see all these different players, and you see Coman like pop up into that top 10, these raps. I'm just thinking, right, it could be a long day, but again, it's another opportunity. If I do what I do, it's just going to show people what I can do. But nah, I didn't feel nervous going into the game.
Well, we've actually got a quote from Pepe. I don't know if you've heard it or not. It was after the Bayern game. He said, "He's aggressive to win the duels, and with the ball, he's so clever. He's good. He's a good 1v1 defender and doesn't feel pressure with the ball. Today was an example of how our back four were pressed but didn't lose the ball as much. He did a really good game." You know, how does that feel, hearing praise like that from somebody like Pep, arguably one of the greatest managers of all time?
Yeah, after the game, it was crazy. Obviously, after the game, I didn't want to, because I knew I played well, but I didn't want to get too high, because obviously you want to stay at that constant level. But it was great to hear that feedback, just because I've had a lot of injuries as well coming into that. So I probably, at that time, in the space of 2.5 years, I probably played about 4 to 6 months of football. So then getting my opportunity, which I thought was kind of delayed with the injuries. I thought it was nice for me to hear those things, and it gave me such a boost of confidence going back into the season, because we came back to England, we had games coming up in training, etc., etc. It just gave me a boost of confidence, like knowing the manager has that trust, or has that acknowledgement of what I can do, or what he's brought me in to do, that he's seen it with his own eyes. So for me, it just gave me a boost of confidence.
Was that praise like extra sweet? Obviously, going through the injuries you've had, did it feel extra nice that you know you're getting that recognition? Yeah.
Josh, not too many players can say that they played Champions League at the age of 20. So tell us about how did you found out, and how did you feel when you found out that you, and you know, when you were ready to make the debut, the appearance, how did you feel? Tell us about, you know.
Again, it started from pre-season. So pre-season, knowing that halfway through our pre-season, Zinchenko went to Arsenal. So now going into the season, I know that I'm the secondary fullback going into the season. So I know that this was before the game. So I know that I need a good pre-season to put myself in the best position that I can. But yeah, so I was always ready. But then in the game that I made my debut, how it's set up at City is that after half-time, the first group of players to go warm up are 99% of the time the first people coming on. So when we come out from the change room and we're thinking nothing of it, we're just sitting down watching the game. And then one of the coaches goes, Josh, Phil, and someone else, I think, to go warm up. I'm like, rah.
Yeah, here we go.
I said, here we go. This is time. So I'm warming up now, but I'm warming up like properly, because obviously when you warm up, sometimes you know you're not coming on. Like you're out there to move. Like
just bringing your stuff that time.
This one I'm warming up properly, like making sure I'm warm, hammies ready, muscles ready. But then at the same time, I'll just.
But your hammies have never been that loose.
Never been that loose,
never.
Fresh. But nah, at the same time, I made sure that when I was warming up, I was just soaking in the atmosphere. Like, I was happy, I was enjoying it. And then when they called me over, etc., and he just said, go out and enjoy it, just do what you do.
So it means if Manchester City wins the league this season, you are a Champions League winner.
That's what I've been telling people.
You going to get a medal?
I should hope so.
Yeah. Keep it safe.
I should hope so.
Say no, so if like nobody will want to try
you can always, you know, your barber. Instead, you paying with cash, pay with that medal.
I think it would look pretty good on this table, to be honest.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can probably recommend a shop that does great replicas if you want.
Let's do it. Yeah. And then you can take them, and then we'll take the real one. Yeah? Deal. You heard it here first. It's a deal. So yeah, obviously being with the first team, is there somebody in particular that really surprised you how good they are? Maybe you hadn't seen enough of them on TV or whatever, and when you saw them, you're like, okay, yeah, this guy's got it.
I don't think so.
No, you just expected it.
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, especially as a younger player growing up, and you're watching a lot of these players growing up, anyways. Like, you already admire them to a certain level. Like, you already know the level that they have and the qualities that they possess. So when I went into that environment, it just confirmed what I thought. If not, it exceeded from everyone what I thought was in my head. Because you just see the odd thing in games, like the odd moment of magic. Someone has to pull out a bit of skill to score. But in training, it's like constant.
Who's the biggest nightmare to come up against in training? Like someone that when they've got the ball, you're thinking, nah, I don't want to get involved in this.
Riyad. You know why? Because, when he chops the ball.
Yeah. Like he's fake shot, and when he just drags it, ball rolls it, that's filth, innit?
Fake shot. Because we in under 18s, we used to watch him, and we used to do it so much in training. Yeah. Like, if you know me, like, it's a big part of my game, like, fake shots as well. So I would always tell them, like, nah, if I come up against Riyad, then he won't fake shot me. And I remember one time, as under 18s, we used to train with him sometimes. And he went out on his left foot, but I gave him space, so he had to shoot. So I'm thinking, he's going to shoot. So I went to block, and he chopped back inside, and it was I said, nah, that's
the thing. When you're both footed, you really just don't know. Yeah. Okay, so next section is called GOAT Talk. So we're going to ask you the GOAT of some various categories. All right.
I like this.
Start off with the most important one. GOAT football player.
Messi.
Good. I like it.
Harry's
not happy, but
no, what's wrong?
Ronaldo. GOAT holiday destination.
I'd have to say Greece. I haven't been too many places, but I've been holidaying in Greece. Greece is nice.
What's yours?
Dubai.
A lot of people say
luxury.
Dubai.
Yeah. Just you can do nothing and just.
I haven't had the privilege of going.
I'm gonna plug my country, Portugal.
GOAT actor.
Denzel.
Yeah.
GOAT fashion brand. Are you sponsored by any brand?
Not anymore, no.
So you can't tell, yes.
Fear of God, if you're watching, he's repping the merch.
Hit me up, man. Nah, I think personally Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
I think if you actually look at a lot of what they do, it's crazy the things that they do, like bags, clothes, etc.
Yeah, they set the bar, don't they?
Yeah.
GOAT rapper.
I don't listen to much rap. So my generation would probably be like Lil Baby and stuff like that.
Yeah. GOAT fast food chain.
McDonald's.
But you obviously don't have money.
I don't have McDonald's.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. When I was a kid, it was the go-to place, you know what I mean?
GOAT NBA player.
LeBron James.
GOAT TV show apart from the
locker room. Yeah.
What I really enjoyed was Prison Break.
Everyone says Prison Break.
Oh, Prison Break was so good.
Carlos said Prison Break as well.
You know why? Because I was very new onto Netflix. Netflix, I only started watching Netflix maybe a couple of years ago when everyone was watching it far back. Like, so they say, you need to watch this, you need to watch that, you need to watch that. I was like, all right, let me start Prison Break. Was locked in. I think I watched the first 5 series in like 4 days or something.
Yeah.
Like, I was.
All right, I'm gonna start it tonight because
too.
everyone says it.
I was
and
locked in.
I don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna try it. And last one, GOAT video game.
Fortnite, without a doubt.
Fortnite, really? Over
without
FIFA?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Deep the longevity FIFA's been out for.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so FIFA's been out for a while. Fortnite came out, and in that span, they had a Fortnite World Cup. They had all these things. The whole world was playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's the best game to ever be created.
But it's like a footballer. If they just go and just have a season where they're just bagging for fun, and then next season they're dead. Like, it
doesn't matter though, because the way the wave that they brought into the world,
no, that's true though.
Especially as a gamer, I thought Fortnite was the best game I've ever played in my life.
Now we're going back to the questions. In January, you moved to Coventry on loan. Who suggested that move?
It's just the club. The club normally gets in contact with your parent club. So there were a few, but yeah, the club normally gets in contact with your parent club. Then you'll go away. You'll have conversations with different managers. You'll make a decision on what club appeals to you, etc., style of play, etc. Because you don't, you want to go to a place where you're going to enjoy the football that they play, and then, then you make a decision, and then you can get the ball rolling from there.
Do you feel like a big difference in just like the environment in the training ground, changing rooms from academy football to professional football?
Not when you get integrated. Mm-hmm. So like when I first went into the first team at City, it was different because I'm a young player and I don't really know anyone, so I'm not talking to anyone. But then after you get integrated, like leaving on loan to go to Coventry, that like this last season, I'm talking to everyone. I feel like I get along with everyone. I'm close with everyone. Squad, I'm part of the squad. So when I'm leaving now, I send a little message like, boys, I'm going on loan for Coventry for 6 months, and everyone's saying good luck. Did this to like give me advice, etc. I feel like this anyway. I told people that I feel like they really take me under their wing, and they have a lot of respect, and they have like. They give me a lot of advice, and I really respect that from everyone at City. They did.
So is that the reason why you think Coventry was the right club for you?
Yeah, I mean, like the style of play, how they played, and then just speaking to the manager and things, like I just thought it would be a great place to go. And then there's another City player there also, so I thought it would just be great for me anyways to just settle in quick and then go play football.
Was there any like interest from abroad or just UK really?
I think there was a couple of people from abroad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why was England right for you?
I think just because it's only for 6 months.
Yeah, okay.
I would prefer to stay in England. Say if I went at the start of the season, then I'd be more open to going abroad, just because it's then a span of a whole year. Instead of me like uprooting my life to go for 6 months, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
The championship is famed by its physical intensity. How did you feel on your first appearance? On your few first appearances?
Yeah, like the championship is really what they say on paper. Like it's very physical, not just physical bashing, but physical running as well. Like you run a lot in the champ. And it was something to get used to. Obviously, like everyone has a settling in period. I obviously have a couple friends from City that when they went my age, when they went on loan in the champ at the start of the season, they had their settling in period. So I wasn't too fussed in a way. Like if it took me a while, thankfully it didn't. Like it took me a couple of games, but if it took me a while, I would have understood why, because it's a different ball game. You're leaving a club where you're used to playing a certain way, and then you have to go to a different environment, etc., different football, different coaches. But I got used to it. But yeah, it is different. It's different.
What are you looking to achieve, like individually and collectively, before the end of the season, like during your loan spell?
Like I said, with injuries, it's just good for me to go and get football.
Yeah.
Just go get minutes under my belt. Yeah, and that exposure to men's football as well, on a constant basis, will be good for me. And I think, anyways, just with us, we've had a good run, unbeaten in 8 games. We're obviously going to be pushing for the playoffs. And, yeah, I mean, promotion's always the top target in everyone's targets. But I think for us, it's really, really achievable. It's not far. And, like I said, unbeaten in 8 games. Just need to keep the momentum up.
Since you arrived in Coventry, who was the person that helped you in and outside the pitches?
Going to Cov. So like when I come up to Manchester, I haven't had much people from London. I think the only person I had was Sam Madozi, and in my age, only person in my age was Sam Madozi. So going to Cov, there's 4 other players I think that are from London, so that are similar similar background, similar upbringings, relatable. So it wasn't hard for me to go in and settle because you already have those people taking you under their wing straight away. Like first day, I'm like, I get in, they're already waiting for me to go to breakfast. Like, come, let's go breakfast. Like, this is here, this is there, this is there. On the pitch, they're telling me like the way we play, how the manager wants us to play, etc. So all those things were good. So they helped me settle in.
Does City like stay in touch with you regularly? You know, about how you're performing, how's going?
Yeah, I mean they have a whole loans group system type of thing. So yeah, they're always in contact.
I'll leave the next one for you.
Do you feel like there's a lot more pressure on you now when you're walking over the white lines, because there's obviously the big Coventry fan base compared to like academy football where there's perhaps not as much of a following?
No, I don't think so. I don't. It's weird because I don't really. As players, maybe some people do, but some of us just we kind of forget that there are fans. So we're kind of if we put pressure on ourselves or if we feel pressure is solely from us. So we go out thinking, I need to do this because I want to get here by I need to go play this because I need to show this to this person by So we put pressure on ourselves. We don't really feel pressure from the fans. But it's just that competitiveness and the willingness to go and do well and to win and to drive ourselves that we all put pressure on ourselves. That's where we feel the pressure. So we don't really feel the pressure from the fans too much. But obviously we enjoy the fans. We'll acknowledge them, etc. Because then after the game, you go clap, etc. But during the game, you even forget that there's fans there. You really do. Like, you just play a game of football, but then after then you realise that the whole stadium is packed.
What's your ultimate goal in football?
I think just to play at the highest level.
Yeah? Is there anything you still want to achieve on football?
I mean, I think everyone wants to achieve the same things in a sense, personally and as a whatever team, like play for your dream team, win trophies. For me, it's just to play. For me, I think it would probably be, I don't have any interest of going to any other league when I'm higher up, say. Like, my main focus will be to play in the Prem over a season after season after season after season. Yeah, and then obviously playing the best competitions, Champions League, World Cup, etc. Okay,
we're going to ask you to pick your dream five-a-side team. I'm guessing Messi's going to be in there.
Messi definitely in there. That's the first name on the team sheet.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper. Ronaldo as well.
Water boy.
Goalkeeper. Neuer.
Okay.
Or Eddie. Neuer or Eddie, because Eddie's very good with his feet as well. So what formation we playing? 2-1-2?
Up to you.
No, that's 5.
1-2.
So we need to play 2-2. 2-1-1. Play 2-1-1.
Bit negative. Don't think Pep would like that.
2-1-1. I would have. It's tough. You put me on the spot, you know. I would have Sergio Ramos as one centre back, and I would have.
VVD.
Ruben Diaz. Pepe.
I would have
Company.
John Terry.
JT.
Okay. John Terry, yeah.
John Terry at the centre back. And then I would play.
Who's taking the captain's armband there? Ramos or JT?
Messi.
I like that. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I would play Messi in midfield, and then I would play
Ronaldo.
R9. I like it. He's fuming that Cristiano's getting hit.
Josh, you know, I'm not happy.
Honestly, be careful, bro. Your hairline's going to be back here like next to him.
No, Josh, there is something that I would like to ask you. You know, you've played with Samedozi, Romeo Lavia. How do you feel to see that they signed for the first team club? They're playing well. Romeo Lavia just got called up for the national team. How do you feel? You feel proud?
Bro, you know us, like, these are my guys. Like,
yeah.
Coming to see, like,
yeah,
these are people that you form strong bonds and strong friendships with. to go see them, like to go see Sam now go Southampton and play first team. To see Lavy do the same thing, and then to see Lavy this international break get called up to Belgium first team, bro, I was like, that's crazy. Like, I think I was with my girlfriend. I was like, right, like, because obviously my girlfriend is Romeo as well. I was like, Lavy got called up for Belgium first team. She's like, who? I was like, Romeo. He's like, what?
That must give you like belief in yourself. Though. If you're seeing your boys doing it, then that you can actually break through. For sure. I mean, we will believe in ourselves, but just to have people that you're close to go see these things happen, it's like, I remember like I texted him not just now, but I think I texted him yesterday, and then it's crazy to see him do these things.
It's amazing. Have you played with Felix as well?
I played with Felix. He got German fans. Yeah, I know.
It's crazy, you know.
You mentioned about Jude and Jamal, like in the England setup. Is there someone that was maybe who is the best player in like the England setup that you've seen in like your young years, maybe?
I always tell people Jude.
Mm-hmm. Has he always been just?
I always tell people that if you knew him when he was younger, the style of player that he is now has changed a bit, because now he's like the complete package.
Yeah, so he strikes me as just so mature. Like listening to him in interviews when he was like 18, whatever. Like he seems like he's just born to be like a captain.
So now, like
a massive team.
You see, like he wears the number 22 because he said he can play for 6 and 8, for 8 and 10. Sorry, I think, and because he can do that now. Like he does the whole thing. Like he's box to box, defensively. But as a kid, because you see how he's big now. Like he's 6 foot, he's wide, he's strong. As a kid, he was small. As a kid, he was the trickiest number 10 that you'd probably ever see. Like not a 4, not. Because
now you'd say Jamal's probably more like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Jamal's different. Like Jamal's always been gangly, ridiculous to get the ball off. Like you think he's going that way, he just goes that way. He's always been that player. So like his body type has always been the same, but now it's just on a bigger level. Like Jude, he was smaller, tricky, ridiculous dribbler. Like, but now obviously he's grown into his body. He's had to change his game a little bit, but probably for the better. Like I said, the complete package. Where Jamal is the same player as he has been from young, which is cool to see because now he's just doing it on a bigger level.
Exactly.
He's just dribbling past everyone. They're still doing all these crazy things that you used to do as a kid. But it's again that to see is nice for me as well. Like,
you know, Josh. Now I'm gonna talk about something outside the pitches. You know, I had the pleasure and I still have the pleasure to meet a lot of football players. And let me tell you now, like, I love you as a football player, but you know what impressed me the most about you is like your mentality. You're more mature than some other players. Obviously, I'm not gonna say names. But you're more mature than other players. You do care about your life after football. You know, I met a few other football players. Obviously, they earning some good money comparing to someone who works in a warehouse or something. And then all they want. Obviously, I'm not judging. Anyone lives his life as they want. The most important thing is they have to feel happy, but they buy amazing cars, they go out, they buy expensive clothes. But you bought an apartment. That's an investment. I don't remember from the players I've met before, and I don't remember one that he told me, bro. I bought an apartment, because you know this is kind of you one step ahead. You're thinking about your life after football, because when the football ends, at least you're secure at some point. You have somewhere to live. You know, that's beautiful, bro.
You know what it is? It's because growing up the way that I did, my dad always made sure that I was. Well, he taught me like to be good with finance, anyways. To always have your just have yourself and your priorities in check. But myself just being a footballer, coming into growing up in that lifestyle, kind of what I realize is that if I'm not playing football, if we're on a holiday and we don't get the schedule telling us we have to be here at 8 a.m., we have to be here at 12 p.m., we have to be here at 4 p.m., we're so bored.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what to do with our time because we've think of it like someone that has a normal job, they might have a passion that they're striving towards, but they're doing this job just in the meantime to prepare to get to that passion. Whereas for us, our passion is football, and we just have the luxury and the privilege to get paid for our passion, for something that we love to do. So for us, we don't see it as a job. We just see it as something that is, we're kids, we're doing things that we just love to do as kids, but it's a profession. So when we now don't have a schedule or we're not tied to someone telling us to be here, be there, we're lost. Like, we don't know what to do. We sit at home all day. By the time it's 5 o'clock, we're like, oh, the day's finished. Bro, you go on, like, that's why a lot of us have, like, play games, because time flies. Like, we don't know what to do with our time. So I saw it just as, like, when football ends, I'm going to be bored unless, like, I start doing something. So I'm going to be bored. So I just said, not even I just said, like, I just knew that you have to set yourself up in a way that, you know, with boredom comes silly decisions. If you're bored, then you're more inclined to go spend that type, like, go or spend that, doesn't matter. Spend that, doesn't matter. Spend that, doesn't matter, because you're bored, you don't know what to do. So if you set up your life in a certain way, or set up your retirement per se in a certain way, then you can at least have some structure to that so-called boredom, and then you can go and look to do whatever you need to do, like punditry or these things that you see.
Have
like,
you got anything in your head at the moment that you would be interested in?
I have no clue.
No
like,
clue.
As much as I am setting up, like, preparing my life afterwards, like I said, as a competitor, like, all I'm focused on is football right now.
Financial advisor, maybe?
Nah, I don't want to touch no one else's money. I don't want to be responsible for no one else's money. I'm responsible for my own, and that's it.
Are you planning to buy another houses, apartments in the future?
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be my landlord one day. We'll see.
No, it's crazy because I don't know. Well, I'm Portuguese myself. I can only talk about Portugal. My parents, for example, people, they work all life, and then all they do is paying bills, and then the most expensive bills are rent and a car. Yeah. And then considering that you can get it done now while you're doing what you love the most, when it ends, because obviously when the football ends, the amount of money, your income is not going to be the same, and then probably maybe at that time you will not be able to do that. And you doing now I love it, because from my background, in my head I think, well, this is something that my brother Josh, when he finished his career, he can enjoy life. He don't need to have that pressure. Oh, I have to pay that, my rent, you know.
Did you ever have like a phase where you were just balling out, like a short period of time?
Bro, there's more chance of lighting this dragon 3 times right now than me doing that. You can ask anyone that has ever known me. I'm the tightest guy. Yeah. Like, I don't like. Say one of my brethren comes, is like, oh, like, bro, I need £5, £10, etc. Like, no matter the amount of money, if you're coming to me on that vibe, I don't think twice. Yeah. I don't think twice. Like, I'll give it. But if you want to say, oh, let's go club, bearing in mind minimum spend is like 5K. This. I'm saying, bro, there's food at home. You know, don't you mean like there's food at home? Where am I going to what? Nah, like, look, there's food at home. If you want that so badly, go call a couple people, go get a disco ball in your house, and then invite me, because then it's free. Yeah, you know what I mean? But nah, exactly, like you said, when you retire, people go from earning that amount of money to not earning that amount of money. So they might still have expenses that require them to earn that amount of money. A lot of
footballers just go penniless after their careers. Yeah, you've got to be careful what you spend. Okay, I think that's all the questions. I think that's it. Thank you, Josh, for your time.
Much appreciated.
Ari, again, obviously, for helping me out with the questions. These two behind the cameras. Alex as well. And yeah, we'll post it on Sunday night, so a couple of days' time from when we're recording. And yeah, thank you very much. I know I've enjoyed it.
Let's not forget, if you didn't get your codes from Beneworks, just get on the website now and get your clothes from Bennett Works. And don't forget as well, our king and queen on jewelry, Unique Empire. We're waiting for you. Get your shine ready.
Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Like and comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.